Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 26, Navy Headquarters Office. Snap. Sengoku listened to the intelligence from the Navy in Dressrosa in the phone worm, slapped the table angrily, and scolded. Damn Doflamingo, actually did such a thing in Dressrosa. Quote. Jingle bells. Jingle bells. Quote. Another phone bug rang. It was from the 5 old stars. Hey, I'm Sengoku. What did your Navy do in the warring states? Doflamingo did this in Dressrosa, you don't even know. Lord 5th Old Star, I have just received the information, please rest assured that I will handle it properly. Handle it properly? What are you going to do about it? Abolish Doflamingo's title of 7 warriors. Then the matter of Dressrosa will still be exposed, and the world government will still not be able to escape responsibility. Quote. This bad incident caused by Doflamingo in Dressrosa, once exposed, will have an extremely bad impact on the Navy and the world government. At that time, the people of the world will know that His Majesty Chiwuhai, who was originally appointed by the world government, is so ferocious. The great image of the world government in the minds of the people no longer exists. So what do you think is good? Didn't you let the yellow ape, the red dog, and the green pheasant launch a demon slaughter order together to hunt down the spell pirate group? Yes, now you don't have to wait for the spell pirates to leave Dressrosa. Give me a hand right now. Bury the whole Dressrosa to the sea. Do you understand? However, the civilians of Dressrosa, in order to seal off the events in Dressrosa, the Sengoku was a little unbearable to kill along with innocent civilians. Give me the order. An unquestionable voice came from the end of the phone worm. Yes, Sengoku had no choice but to agree. Sengoku called the Akainu's phone worm and said, Akainu, quickly rush to Dressrosa and launch the demon slaughter order. Yes, the red dog has no doubts about the elimination of Dressrosa, since the Marshal of the Warring States said so, then the existence of Dressrosa is unjust, and injustice must be eliminated. Over Dressrosa, Doflamingo keeps fleeing in the air, while Gojo chases after him. Bullet line. Super strike whiplash. Bullet line. During the escape, Doflamingo turned back from time to time and attacked Gojo, trying to slow down Gojo's speed, but Gojo still followed closely behind and did not shake off. Although Gojo's strength is strong, he is absolutely invincible, and Doflamingo has never given up. And Doflamingo's current escape is not aimless, he has been fleeing in the direction of the Navy's demon slaughter. Because he made an agreement with the Navy that he would drag the spell pirate group, and then the Navy would launch a demon slaughter order to destroy the spell pirate group, he could know which direction the naval demon slayer order came from. As long as Gojo is lured there, he can use the power of the Navy to drag Gojo, and he can escape immediately after fleeing back to Dressrosa to rescue his subordinates. At that time, whether Gojo wins or the Navy wins, he can preserve his strength to the maximum and make a comeback in the future. Bullet line. Doflamingo attacked again. That's Doflamingo. The back is the white-haired Gojo. Bastard Doflamingo. The white-haired Gojo wants to win. White-haired Gojo is going to defeat Doflamingo. The civilians of Dressrosa, seeing Doflamingo and Gojo chasing me in the air, cursed Doflamingo and prayed that Gojo could defeat Doflamingo. The civilians changed their previous attitude of supporting Doflamingo and targeting the spell pirates. Because they knew about the crimes that Doflamingo had committed against Dressrosa for so many years. And these shady curtains can be brought down in broad daylight because of the spell pirate group. Now the spell pirates are still fighting the Doflamingo family at the risk of their own safety in order to save Dressrosa. They are really grateful to the spell pirates. Listening to the support of the civilians of Dressrosa for the spell pirates, the corners of Gojo's mouth rose slightly. The purpose of winning people's hearts has been achieved. It's almost over. The next moment, Goku directly narrowed the distance with Doflamingo, and the fist of the spell surged out. Bang! Doflamingo received a hard blow in the back, rolled in the air, and spat blood out of his mouth again. Boom! Doflamingo fell to the ground, smashing the ground into a large hole. Ahem! Cough! Coughing up blood in his mouth, Doflamingo reluctantly stood up and looked at the coastline that was close at hand. That was warships of the Navy. Although the distance was a bit far away and the outline was a little blurry, Doflamingo recognized the naval warship at a glance. Finally here, Doflamingo seemed relieved in his heart. So that's the case, are you waiting for naval support? Gojo came to Doflamingo, but did not strike immediately. Bang bang bang. The demon slaughter order launched by the three major generals of the navy together. You spell the pirate group has such a big face. The three admirals were present, and Doflamingo was so happy that he could see the defeat of the spell pirates. You really cooperated with the navy, Doflamingo. So you already guessed. However, guess what, now the navy slaughter order has arrived. Do you think the navy will let you go? Bang bang bang. I don't know if I can be spared, but I definitely won't let you go. Ha ha ha. So do you think I'll let you go? Quote, what? Doflamingo thought that the three admirals had arrived, and Gojo Goku should hurriedly gather his subordinates to flee, but he didn't expect Gojo to entangle with him. Boom. But he still thought wrong, and it didn't take much time to solve him. With one powerful punch, multiple bones in Doflamingo's chest shattered. Already scarred, coupled with this heavy blow, Doflamingo's body could no longer hold on, and he fell to the ground and passed out. Today is really a constant battle. Glancing at the naval warship in the distance, Gojo took out his mobile phone and dialed Lucy's number. Hey, Lucy, come to me and handcuff Doflamingo with a sea tower stone handcuff and take good care of it. Yes, and let Esther's, Sasuke and Analu and the three of them don't have to keep their hands, and fight quickly. Then come to me. A new battle is about to begin. Quote. Yes. When the call ends, Gojo hangs up his phone. Looking at the approaching naval warship, Gojo said calmly. Oh, the demon slaughter order of the three admirals. The navy really looks up to us. Quote. Chapter 27. Ding. Host defeats Doflamingo and releases rewards. Quote. Reward. Summon character ability sharing. Well. Summon character ability sharing. What is this reward? System. What is the function of this reward? The host can have the ability to summon characters. Then you mean I can have the abilities of Estes and Sasuke, right? Yes, host. Groove. This system seems to be more powerful than I thought. Ding. Please check the reward as soon as possible. Check. Check. Quote. Ding. A blue light appeared from the void, and then disappeared into Goju's body, sensing certain changes that occurred in the body, and directly mastered the abilities of Estes and Sasuke. Worthy of being a system product, Sasuke's kaleidoscopic chakra eye and reincarnation eye ability are directly fused with the heavenly pupil of Gojo without a trace of contradiction. Are they our new opponents? Esther's, who ended the battle, came to Gojo. Yes, there are also people who use ice skills. You can compare with him. Quote. Oh, that's really looking forward to it. Esther's eyes became sharp, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. What are you doing here? Ben God, come. Sasuke and Aniro also arrived. Gojo pointed to the approaching naval ships in the distance and said. See no, Sasuke. Navy warships, so much is actually coming. Gojo. Yes, there are many powerful characters on it now. Don't you want to try your hands? Analu. How powerful, is it stronger than this god? Quote. Remember the last time I fought you in the Chambord Islands? Analu still said without knowing the sky. Is it him? Last time he let him run, this time Ben God wants him to look good. 4. Analu's mysterious confidence, Gojo did not stop him, let him suffer a little more, he knew to forge ahead. Now there are 3 of those ships that are as powerful as the Yellow Ape. Sasuke. That's fun. The one called Yellow Ape is handed over to me. Leave it to me with the Ice Man. Then leave the remaining one to Sasuke. Sasuke asked, what about you? Of course I'm here for you. Gojo brazenly paddled. Immediately afterwards, Gojo called the 6 of Luki to help evacuate the crowd, and showed the civilians of Dressrosa the footage of the battle that would happen here with a video phone worm. The 3 admirals did not know at this time, they had been clearly arranged. Whoosh. Wow. Wow. More than a dozen warships cut through the sea, causing waves to rise layer after layer on the originally calm sea, and hundreds of pitch-black gun barrels shimmered in the sunlight. Bang. 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 Quote. When the warship was within range of the cannon, in an instant, hundreds of guns roared in unison. The black shells of the sky came directly towards Dressrosa. Boom. Rumble. Rumble. Quote. Dressrosa's proximity to the naval warship was instantly blown into ruins. But fortunately, Gojo Goku had already asked the 6 Luki people to evacuate the crowd, so basically no one was injured because of this. But with the bombardment of artillery fire, the whole Dressrosa exploded. Why did the Navy bomb Dressrosa? Are they crazy? Do they want to blow us up? I didn't come to capture Doflamingo just now, but now I'm going to blow us up. Do they want to kill people? Finally, someone inadvertently told the truth. Lu Qi took advantage of the situation and said, "You were right, they just want to kill people. Because they're going to cover up what Doflamingo did here. Otherwise they will have serious consequences." What? Does the Navy want to kill people because of this kind of thing? Dressrosa has a population of more than 800,000. Listening to Lu Qi's words, the civilians of Dressrosa were a little shocked, but the constant sound of shelling and the continuous collapse of buildings made them have to believe it. But don't worry, the spell pirates will protect everyone's safety, and they will definitely defeat the Navy. Looking at the four figures on the screen who still did not flinch under the fire of the Navy, everyone pinned their hopes on them. Dressrosa's edge. Let's try out new skills. After speaking, Gojo Goku stepped forward, stomped his right foot, and shouted. Frozen for thousands of miles. The cold aura instantly spread from Goju's right foot, and instantly spread towards the side of the naval warship. In just an instant, more than a dozen warships were frozen, the cannons could no longer fire shells, and ordinary naval soldiers could not withstand the cold, and directly turned into ice sculptures. All that remained were the yellow ape, the green pheasant, the red dog and the 5 lieutenant generals. What? Gojo Goku also has ice system abilities. This doesn't match the intelligence. They were equally surprised by Esther's. Do you also know ice skills? Gojo. Shish, I can do anything. Find your own opponent. With that, Sasuke rushed out, followed by Estes and Analu. The first to arrive in front of the 3 admirals was Analu. Hey, the one in yellow, let this god deal with you. Coming to the 3 admirals, Analu pointed condescendingly at the yellow ape and said, "It's terrible, then leave this horrible guy to me." After that, the yellow ape did not wait for the others to speak, so he flew into the air to fight with Analu for fear of being preempted. Green pheasant, red dog. In their perception, Analu is the weakest of the 4 people of Gojo Goku. The yellow ape picks the weakest, and actually speaks righteously, and the green pheasant and the red dog express that they do not want to speak. Which of you knows how to use ice? Esters, who arrived in time, asked. The green pheasant did not answer, but the cold breath exhaled from his mouth already indicated everything. To avoid the battle affecting the warship, the pheasant jumped to the side and lured Estes away from the warship. At the same time, Akainu also led Sasuke to the other side. After leading away, the green pheasant looked at Estes in front of him. In his perception, this woman seemed to exude a cold that was even more terrifying than him, and the murderous aura that was inadvertently revealed made even the green pheasant feel frightened. This is the aura that can only be possessed after experiencing such a killing. On the other side, Sasuke looked at Akainu and said, "I heard Gojo say you're very good. Uchiha Sasuke, why are you being a pirate?" Akainu didn't answer Sasuke's words. "Let me ask you." Sasuke was a little angry when he saw that Akainu ignored his question. With such strong strength and such a young age, he actually joined the evil pirate. "Does it have anything to do with you?" Sasuke instantly broke out chakra and pressed towards the red dog, who was not to be outdone, and burst out to confront it. The battle is on the verge of breaking out. This is in the city of Dressrosa. As soon as the civilians saw the 3 admirals of the Navy on the screen, they were instantly stunned and short of breath. There was silence in the room. All the civilians looked at the 3 admirals in a daze, the yellow ape, the red dog, and the green pheasant. Unexpectedly, these warships that came to bomb them were actually led by the 3 admirals of the Navy personally. How is it possible? It's actually the 3 admirals of the Navy. How could the general personally make a move? Can you win? Spell pirates. Quote. The civilians sweated for the spell pirates. The 3 admirals represent the highest combat power of the Navy. Every general is a strong man on the side of Megatron, but I didn't expect that 3 of them appeared here at the same time. Chapter 28. Dressrosa was caught on the frozen sea. And the eyes of Estes and the pheasant were like torches, and the murderous aura collided together. Boom. The next moment, the momentum of the 2 began to collide instantly, like 2 prehistoric behemoths, tearing each other. Estes said without a trace of emotion. You are really not weak. The corners of her mouth rose slightly, and at the same time there was an almost crazy battle intent in her eyes. I didn't expect to meet an opponent of this level here, and now Esther's, the blood of the fighting nation in his body has begun to boil. That is the desire to fight the strong. What exactly is the origin of the spell pirates? Just two people cannot lose the green pheasant general and the red dog general in terms of momentum, and even faintly have the upper hand. The strength of that thunder fruit ability is also above our lieutenant general, and has the potential of a great general. Who the hell are these guys? The 5 vice admirals looked in amazement at Sasuke and Esther's, who were confronting Akainu and the pheasant, and Anilu, who was constantly attacking the yellow ape. I didn't expect that the momentum of these guys from the spell pirate group would not be lost to the admiral at all. The 5 vice admirals were shocked. This woman, he muttered, and the green pheasant's eyes became solemn. There was no doubt that he felt the pressure from the momentum emanating from Estes, and if he didn't show all his skills, he was likely to be killed by her. Rush over. So fast. He watched as Estes rushed towards him. The speed is very fast, and it comes to him in an instant. Skate blades. The green pheasant immediately exhaled a breath of cold air and formed an ice blade in his hand, blocking the slash of the western sword of Estes. Boom. The collision of swords and knives made a huge roar, and the clash of the two forces formed a powerful shock wave, causing cracks in the already frozen sea. Ice cubes, 2 spears. The green pheasant saw that the strength of Esther's was equal to his own. No, it should be stronger than himself, so he used ice cubes and 2 spears. Cold ice appeared in the void, and then the cold ice quickly condensed into several spears and shot towards Esther's in front of him. Estes is now holding the western sword in his hand. There is no way to resist this move. If he retreats and dodges, then he will take advantage of the victory to chase and give her a blow. If he resists hard, he will definitely be hit hard. Ordinary people simply cannot block such an offensive. HMPH. Looking at the ice spear formed in front of him, Estes snorted coldly, stomped his right foot, and shouted. Icicle. The moment the words fell, 2 icicles directly burst out of the ice on both sides of Esther's, destroying the ice spears shot towards Esther's and piercing the body of the green pheasant. The body of the pierced pheasant turned into a pile of ice and recondensed its human form. Phew. Exhaled a cold breath, the green pheasant said. The ability of ice is very good. Elementalization. Your abilities are really tricky. Estes grinned. The stronger and trickier the opponent, the more excited she will be, and the higher her fighting spirit. On the other side, at this time, Sasuke and Akainu's momentum collided to the point of pure fire. Death. Seeing that Esther's had already started fighting, Sasuke no longer hesitated, and the grass pheasant sword was directly cut out. Armed color. Akainu himself covered his fists with armed colors and collided with Sasuke's Kusanagi sword. Bang, bang, bang. The battle between the two, the confrontation between fists and swords made a loud noise. This guy's armed color domineering and seeing color domineering are really good. It may be a little difficult to distinguish the victory and defeat by the armed color and the color you have just learned. Sasuke analyzed the intelligence gained during the battle. Even though Sasuke is a rare genius, he has not been domineering for long after all, and it is still very different from the old powerhouse like Akainu, who has exercised his armed color and sightseeing color domineering to the extreme. However, in Akainu's opinion, Sasuke's armed color and domineering color have been able to compete with himself, and it is very difficult for him to win Sasuke by domineering. If he knew that Sasuke had just learned to be domineering not long ago, and had reached this level, he was afraid that his jaw would drop. Canine Red Lotus. There is no point in continuing to use domineering to determine the victory, and at this thought, Akainu no longer hesitated, and directly used the ability of the devil fruit to yavate his arm, and turned into the shape of a dog's head and bit Sasuke. The billowing magma came towards him, causing the ice surface to begin to melt, as if even the void was about to burn out. As a very destructive move of the red dog, the power is really extraordinary. The place it passes is devastated. HMPH. Looking at the rolling magma, Sasuke snorted coldly. The momentum on his body began to climb, and then he saw that the eye he exposed began to change. The enchanting eternal kaleidoscope silhouette is revealed. The blood-red pupils exuded a strange aura. This is Sasuke's eternal kaleidoscopic chakra eye. Oh, did you use the kaleidoscope to right wheel eyes so early? Who is better than Hitomi in Devil Fruit? It's really exciting. Gojo. who was suspended in midair, held his hands to his chest without the slightest intention of making a move. In the farther air, the yellow ape turned into yellow light and moved, and a huge blue thunderbolt slammed directly into the yellow light incarnated by the yellow ape at an incomparably fast speed. Boom! The dodging yellow ape looked not far away, and the blue thunder and lightning blasted the frozen sea out of a pit, and said in a strange tone, "It's really terrible. The thunder fruit is indeed not ordinary." Anilu sat cross-legged in the air, supported his head with one hand and said, "You're fast, so let's find out who's faster today." Yaha! When the words fell, Anilu had already flashed to the yellow ape's side, and the hand wrapped in thunder and lightning was about to shoot at the yellow ape. Tiankong Cloud Sword. The yellow sword of light condensed in the hands of the yellow ape, blocking Anilu's attack. "Your abilities are terrible." The yellow ape easily blocked Anilu's attack, and he couldn't see where he felt terrible. "Bastard! Dare to despise this god." As if sensing that the yellow ape did not put himself in his eyes, Anilu was very angry, and the thunder and lightning in his hand became more violent. "Wherever, I'm already giving it my all. Your lightning strike alone almost made me unable to hold on." "Well, just a little." The yellow ape's already lewd face showed a lewd expression. "Ooh, the yellow ape did a good job. Let Anilu suffer a little. Otherwise, he is too crazy, and his arrogant personality should be pressed well." Looking at the duel between Anilu and the yellow ape in the air, Gojo didn't care about the yellow ape's teasing of Anilu at all, and even hoped that the yellow ape could teach Anilu a lesson. After all, Anilu is too arrogant, and it is time for him to sharpen and sharpen. Chapter 29. On the naval warship, 5 vice admirals thawed all the frozen naval soldiers. Although it has thawed, their bodies are still cold, constantly screaming, and they are afraid that they will not be able to recover their combat effectiveness after a period of recuperation. The ghost spider said, let's go help too." Mole. Which side shall we go to first? Ghost spider. Capture the thief first, let's go and capture Gojo. Burning Mountain pointed at Estes and the others, and said, "Ghost spider, are you sure? That's the monster that subdued these monsters. Are the 5 of us his opponents?" The other 3 lieutenant generals also cast their gaze on, apparently not thinking that the 5 of them could defeat Gojo. "If we go to reinforce the 3 generals, then Gojo Goku will have no one to contain him. He can join the battle at any time, no matter which battlefield he goes to. It must be enough to decide the victory or defeat of that battlefield." After a pause, the ghost spider continued, "We must contain Gojo, and when the yellow ape general defeats that Anilu, the yellow ape general can join forces with the red dog general and the green pheasant general to defeat Estes and Sasuke one by one." The mole suddenly realized and said, "When the 3 generals join forces, no matter how powerful the 5 realms are, it will be impossible to stop it." So that's the case. It's no wonder that General Yellow Ape can obviously defeat Anilu quickly, but he has not exerted his full strength. He must be waiting for us to heal the soldiers and contain Gojo. Burning Mountain flashed and patted his head. Yellow Ape. Determined, the 5 lieutenant generals, Squirrel, Burning Mountain, Daubman, Ghost Spider, and Stoloberg, stepped on the moon and attacked Gojo. Not long after, he came to Gojo's body. Looking at the 5 lieutenant generals who surrounded him, Gojo still clasped his hands to his chest and said, "Oh, do you want 5 against 1? Ghost Spider, don't blame us for not talking about martial virtue. After all, you are too strong." "It's okay, I don't mind because..." Gojo's mouth rose with a mocking smile and continued, "You guys are weak. Burning Mountain, Your Excellency can fight with the Yellow Ape General. It is indeed powerful, but it is too unimportant to take us seriously. I'm just telling the truth. After all, you don't even have the strength to stand in front of me." The words fell, and the powerful and matchless overlord color erupted from Gojo. What? Squirrel, Burning Mountain, Doberman, Ghost Spider, and Strawberry all felt their bodies sink. Boom, 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 boom. Moon steps could no longer make them stop in the air, and with 5 loud bangs, the 5 lieutenant generals smashed into the ice one after another. Ah! In the smashed pit, all 5 lieutenant generals were half kneeling, roaring, struggling to stand up. Gojo didn't look at the 5 people struggling in the pit, continued to hold his hands to his chest, suspended in the air, and said without question, "Kneel on the ground With each word that Gojo said, the power that pressed on them seemed to increase by 1 point. They have never seen such a powerful overlord colored domineering, even Shank's overlord colored domineering is far inferior. Poof. The lieutenant generals could not withstand the strong oppressive force, spat out a mouthful of blood, and spilled it on the ice. Gojo then withdrew his overlord colored domineering aura and said, "If you don't want to die, just watch them fight here." Gojo did not intend to kill them, because they could be used as hostages to exchange for money in the navy. After all, the establishment of the country definitely requires a lot of money. Phew. Feeling the power that pressed on his body disappeared, the ghost spider and the others gasped one after another. After regaining some strength, they stood up, but they stopped acting rashly, because it didn't make sense. Sasuke's side. Susanoo. The Akainu's magma attack was really annoying, and Sasuke decisively used the kaleidoscope of abilities. As the words fell, he saw the purple giant, rising from the ground. Completely enveloped Sasuke's entire person. Just like when he fought Pika just now, this is only Susanoo's semi-complete body. Sasuke felt that even a red dog would not be enough for him to use the full body Susanoo. If Akainu knew that in Sasuke's eyes, he was treated the same as Doflamingo's cadres, he would definitely be angry. Anyway, he is also a naval admiral who is a pirate, he looks down on people too much. What is this ability? The 5 vice admirals, who were forced to be spectators, watched in amazement. They had never seen such a purple giant, after all, they had not seen the Battle of Dressrosa just now. But they felt a strong threat from this giant. Meteor volcano. Akainu magma turned his fists into magma and continuously swung them into the air, and a large number of huge magma fists were launched into the air, and then the magma fists like meteor showers would continue to fall from the air, shrouding Sasuke and his Susanoo. Boom. Rumble. Quote. Magma smashed on Susanoo and the ice, which melted and evaporated, producing a thick vapor. The meteor volcano is an extremely powerful move of the Red Dog, and it has always been invincible, and nothing can resist it. How can it be? In the next instant, Chinu's eyes widened suddenly, and the thick disbelief in his eyes could not be erased. His meteor volcano didn't even melt Susanoo. How so? The Red Dog's voice was full of shock. The purple giant actually came unscathed. The Akainu's meteor volcano actually doesn't work. The lieutenant generals could not believe the scene in front of them. Dressrosa. Oh my god, so strong. Am I supposed to be mistaken? Admiral Akainu's attack didn't break through the purple giant's defenses. Sasuke-sama is so good. Come on Sasuke-sama. The civilians of Dressrosa were also shocked to see Sasuke's battle. Sasuke raised his hands and exuded the calmness of a strong man, and the heroic posture of the battle was spread on the screen of the mirror phone worm, and he gained a bunch of fans. In the field, Sasuke was still fighting with the Red Dog. The Red Dog can be said to be full of skills, and powerful moves are not used like money. Big Spitfire. Meteor Volcano. Canine Tooth Red Lotus. Pluto. Boo. Oh, it actually made my Susanoo crack. Looking at the devastation that Akainu's dog inflicted on Susanoo, Sasuke was a little surprised. But with this ability, it can't beat me. Even if Susa is punched out of the rift, this is completely different from being able to hit himself. One of Akainu's tricks barely caused Susa to crack. It's my turn next. The voice fell. Swoosh. The sound of breaking the void sounded directly. Purple Susanoo's arm was raised, and his palm was aimed in the direction of the Red Dog. In the blink of an eye, Susanoo's palm came to Akainu. The Akainu, who overused his abilities, was a little unresponsive, and when he saw the purple Susanoo arm, it was too late. Susanoo's palm directly swept the Red Dog away. Poof. Blood suddenly sprayed out of the air. His body, like a kite with a broken line, was blasted out. It was smashed the ice. Gliding on the ice, leaving deep marks. The Red Dog can be described as being beaten to the eye. How is that possible? General Akainu was actually surprised. The lieutenant general's eyes widened in surprise. Red Dogs are invincible and powerful in their minds. But it was such a character who was actually shot out by Sasuke Uchiha. They were so strange. What kind of divine was this spell pirate group, and how could it be so powerful? Chapter 30. Susanoo is actually so strong. The Red Dogs can't resist. The green pheasant who fought with Esther's was also quite shocked to see the red dog that was shot away. Akainu was arguably the most powerful of their 3 generals, but with his strength, there was no way to break through Susanoo's defenses, only causing some rifts. If it were me and the yellow ape, it would be even more difficult to crack this trick. The spell pirates are really monsters. The pheasant turned sharply in the center of the battle, analyzing Sasuke's Susanoo. The abilities of himself and the yellow ape are even more helpless to Uchiha Sasuke's Susanoo, and they can only hope that the red dog can win. With blood from his eyes, Sasuke said indifferently. Is this the end of it? Admirals are nothing but that abominable bastard. Standing up from the ground, the red dog released the power of the magma fruit, and the scorching magma made the ice surface melt continuously. Steam came out, and his eyes were red with anger. The dignified admiral was actually slapped away by a palm. He felt insulted, and roared. Give me death. Looking at Sasuke's Susanoo huge figure like a demon god, without thinking, Akainu released the magma fruit ability with all his strength, and finally a giant composed entirely of magma rose up. Kill. Experience the terrifying power of magma giants. As if he had gained confidence, the red dog roared and launched an attack on Sasuke. The long knife transformed by magma condensed in the hands of the magma giant, slashing towards the purple Susa. HMPH. Snorted coldly, Sasuke didn't pay attention to the attack of the red dog at all. Sasuke's Susanoo's strength is not something that can be cut casually. Of course, even if Sasuke couldn't break through his defenses, he wouldn't really let this knife cut down. Boom. Sasuke's chakra transformed long knife blocked the trajectory of the magma long knife. The moment the chakra knife collided with the magma knife, there was a huge roar, and the shock wave generated spread around. More than a dozen warships frozen on the sea surface were also shaken by the impact. It seems that the battle over there doesn't need to worry too much. Watching the battle between the magma giant of the red dog and the Susa of Sasuke, the pheasant was slightly relieved. You're going to worry about your little life. Fighting with me actually dares to be distracted. I am really underestimated. Esters waved his palm, and a terrifying cold aura erupted. General Binglin. As soon as the words fell, on the originally empty ice, a group of ice knights with a powerful aura appeared, as if warriors who came out of hell, exuding a terrifying aura. Step. Trample. Trample. The ice knight rushed towards the pheasant in the next instant. Ice cube pheasant mouth. The green pheasant immediately raised his right hand, condensed the cold air in his right hand, and an ice bird more than 10 meters long condensed, and swept towards the ice knight with a powerful impact. The Iceland General is a group move to clean up miscellaneous soldiers, and its attack power is somewhat inferior to the move with high single damage such as the ice bird. Boom. Rumble. Rumble. Quote. The Ice Knight is constantly destroyed under the onslaught of the Ice Bird. But the Ice Bird is powerful, but under the continuous impact of the Ice Knight group, the speed is getting slower and slower, and the impact is getting weaker and weaker. Boo. In the end, a crack also appeared on the surface of the Ice Bird, and after colliding with multiple knights, the Ice Bird finally could not support it and was blasted into pieces. Not good. The green pheasant was shocked in his heart, and there were many Ice Knights condensed by the ice in front of him, rushing straight towards him, and the power was still huge. Moon Step. The green pheasant no longer hesitated, and jumped directly into the air with the moon step, avoiding the charge of the Ice Knight. Icicles. Esters did not give the pheasant time to rest, and an icicle rose up and shot directly at the pheasant. Step. The green pheasant stepped on the moon step and dodged dangerously with a dodge. But this is not over. Esters pulled out the western sword, armed color domineering wrapped around the entire sword body, and a few jumps on the icicle rushed to the top of the pheasant, slashing down. Skate blades. Seeing Esters slashing over with a sword, the green pheasant exhaled a breath of cold air, condensed an ice blade, and also wrapped the ice blade with armed color domineering. Bell. The pheasant's ice blade and Esters' western sword collide. Boom. The green pheasant was bombarded on the ice by Esters, smashing out a large hole. Ring the bell. Esters followed closely, and at the moment the pheasant landed, he launched another slash, and the pheasant had no chance to stop at all. In a short period of time, Estes and the pheasant have already fought dozens of rounds. Esters' offensive is getting stronger and faster. The green pheasant barely resisted from the beginning of the close match, the more the green pheasant fought, the more frightened he became. He had used his full strength, but he could only barely parry Esther's attack. Is this the Admiral's swordsmanship? The corners of Esther's mouth rose slightly, his eyes looked sharply at the green pheasant in front of him, and he continued. It's too weak. As soon as the words fell, Estes swung a sword with all his strength. Boom! The green pheasant was cut by this sword. Even if it was inserted into the ice surface with an ice blade, it still glided on the ice surface for tens of meters before stopping. Click. After stopping, the ice blade cracked, and with a click, it directly split into two pieces. The pheasant's ice blade is hard enough to rival steel, plus it is armed with domineering winding. But even this was broken in this slash of Esther's, which shows the power of Esther's blow. Allah, what a terrifying power! Although it is calm on the surface, a huge wave has been turned up in the heart. After the confrontation just now, the green pheasant knew that Esther's was not only superb in swordsmanship, but also amazingly powerful, and he was not Esther's opponent. Admiral, that's it, it's almost time to end the battle. When the words fell, Esther's attacked again, shouting. Icicles. An icicle appeared from under the feet of Esther's, sending Estes hundreds of meters into the air. Ice Sagata ice hockey. With a jump, Estes jumped away from the icicle, and a terrifying cold aura erupted behind him, instantly condensing a huge ice ball with a diameter of tens of meters. With a flip, Estes came to the top of the huge ice ball, stomped on it sharply with his foot, and the armed color domineering spread from Esther's foot to the entire ice ball, and finally wrapped the ice ball. With Esther's kick, the huge black ice ball smashed towards the green pheasant like a meteorite. Arala, what a power this is! The green pheasant sighed at the strength of Esther's, but the movements in his hands were not slow. With both hands pressed on the ice ground, the ability of freezing the devil fruit instantly exploded, using the power of the whole body, and the terrifying cold chi instantly condensed into huge icicles from the pheasant's side, encircling the pheasant in it. Boom! Rumble! Rumble! As soon as the black ice ball came into contact with more than a dozen icicles, a violent roar immediately sounded. The icicles were crushed and shattered, and countless broken ice blocks were led by the shock wave like arrows to the surroundings. The frozen sea began to break and collapse, and the dozen icicles around the pheasant could no longer withstand and were crushed. The ice ball touched the ground, and the violent shock wave radiated around, and even if it was hundreds of meters away, the ghost spider and other lieutenant generals still felt the violent impact. General Pheasant. If this is still the case here, what about the pheasant general in the center of the attack? Even if they are anxious, they cannot act rashly. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.